Hi, brothers and sisters and friends. Okay, it is November 4th, 2015, and I want to share with you of a dream I had 2 nights ago. Yeah, and I got revelation on it. Now it's slowly coming, but I'm going to share it because I believe it means something. And let me just start off by telling you, first of all, the Lord has shielded me from watching what's going on in the news of anything, like all the stuff I used to watch, I don't watch anymore, like YouTube videos of like Dabu and like some other people, and even like news on television. I don't watch any of that, okay? And so I'm going to share with you this dream that I had, and I think it means something, and so I'm just here. And even like with President Obama, I don't even know what's going on with him. Like I'm shielding myself away and just really seeking God, because too much of one thing is not good for you. And if I'm concentrating on the new, my spirit will get excited, like, oh my God, like this is gonna happen like anytime, like right now, we can go into war, like, my mind will just start going, and that's not good for my spirit, you know what I mean? And so I'm going to share with you this dream that I had. Okay, so in this dream, I wrote down notes, but I'm going to try to do it without my notes here. Just let the Holy Spirit just guide me. I was staying in this house, and I was staying in this house with what looked like a girl from rehab that I volunteer at and I speak to. And so anyway, we were staying in this house, and I recognized some of the men that were in this house, and they were soldiers for the army, and one of them was named Brandon. And I looked up the name Brandon, which means prince or brave. So in the home of a brave, like the U.S. Army, right? Well, there's this ruler of this house, and I did not like him at all. And so I was staying in this house, and I ended up taking a shower, but when I turned on the shower, it looked as if the water was contaminated. But so it looked like seeds or eggs, like, it looked like seeds coming out of this water, and I ended up flooding the bathroom of these seeds, of the water that had seeds in it, that flooded the bathroom. So there was a flood of seeds. And when the ruler came home, he saw that I flooded the bathroom, and he was angry. And so I ended up running from the bathroom into another room, and I locked the door. And he came to the door, and I never saw what this guy looked like, okay? I just knew I did not like him. So all I remember seeing was the shadow of a man behind this locked door. And he was wanting, to come in my room, and I'm like, no, I'm changing, I'm getting dressed. And so he left. But then he said to me that he had some deliveries he had to make, and he wanted me to go with him and talk. And I'm thinking, yeah, right, dude, you're probably going to kill me, because like I was stuck in this house not by my own will. I did not want to be in this house. And so the scene switched, and we're in a car, just me and him, and he's driving. And let me tell you, I couldn't stand this man. I couldn't stand him. I could not. When he talked, I I'm like, be quiet. I just don't care. I don't care what you have to say. Like, you're a liar. Just be quiet. You know, that's how I was feeling about this man. And he kept trying to talk to me. And I'm like, yeah, And he was telling me about these deliveries. And he was saying he has to deliver this on time. You know, if you want something done, you have to do it yourself, and he has to deliver it on time. And he was telling me it was a nuke and some other military equipment. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm sure it is, but great, right, you know. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm delivering it to the Muslims. And this is what I said. I was like, well, yeah, duh, you're Muslim. You know? And there was a receipt that he had, and he wanted me to write my signature on it and sign off on this. And I was like, really? I'm like, no. I'm like, you're the top guy. You know, you're the top man. Do it yourself. Why do you need my signature? And this guy just laughed. And he laughed with such like this evil smirk, like smile that reminded me of like that cat from Alice in Wonderland. I can't think of the name. But he just smiled and just laughed, you know. There wasn't really any anger. It was just like an evil, creepy smile and laugh. And so I grabbed the receipt and I was writing on it. And I was like, you are cruel, inconsiderate, liar. And then he took it away from me, and he just laughed, you know. And let me see what happened next. And so I'm like, I said, you don't need, okay, I already told you that you don't need me to write this, that you're the top guy. So let me tell you, okay, I think that was Obama. Just because I was in this home, and there was a name that stuck out, Brandon, which means brave, home of the brave, which is America. And the ruler of America, the president of America, is Obama. And let me tell you, when he talks, I don't care if anything he has to say, because I know he lies. I know that. Okay, well, let me continue. So then, him and I were like getting into it after I wrote down on the receipt, and he was just like laughing. I said, go back to hell. And he just laughed. He's like, no, you go to hell. And I'm like, I am. I'm stuck in here with you, aren't I? And then he laughed, and I woke up. And then my dream switched. So, okay, so with that part right there, it made me feel like that was Obama. You know, and the fact that I said, oh, well, duh, you know, you're Muslim. You're sending the nukes over, and you're delivering them to the Muslims because you're Muslim. You know, we all should know by now that he hates America, and he's going to be used. He's the Antichrist. And he laughed like Satan. Alright, so then it switched to, I was in a stadium, and there was a bunch of security guards, and I was there because I was trying to get a job as a security guard. Alright, years ago I worked as a security guard, and I was going to renew my license and actually get a job as a security guard in this stadium. But I noticed that there was this billboard that was talking about praying to the gods. And I was like, ooh, you know, we got to take that down. You know, we got to take this down. But as I noticed, the security guards, they were dressed up as Muslims. And I heard them talking about praying. And I'm like, oh, you guys pray. And they're like, yeah, you know, we have the gods. And like they were talking about something. I was like, oh. I was like, yeah, I noticed that billboard. You know, we got to take that down. And they're like, well, we got to yeah, we got to get Christ out of here. And I remember, I'm like, ooh, you know, they want this billboard of, like, they're talking about a whole nother billboard that they're talking about removing Christ out of here. And I'm like, ooh, I can't work. I don't want to work anywhere where there's people, like, talking about removing Jesus out. You know, like, that's what I was thinking. And the fact that these were, like, the security guards were dressed up as Muslims. So I didn't quite understand that. Like, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I know that the Muslims don't like the Christians and are beheading us and killing us and murdering us, and, you know, and so they want to get us out of here. So, that's pretty much all of my dream. If anybody has any revelation of anything else, maybe that can be as a warning dream that Obama is delivering nukes to the Muslims to get Christ out of here, to get the Holy Spirit out of here so he can do his evil plan. I don't know. But I love you all. God bless you. And I pray you have a beautiful, blessed day in the Lord. And I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hey, I'm going to share with you now where the Lord just led me to confirmation of what my dream is meaning. He kept showing me and speaking into me Daniel, but I don't know what part of Daniel, but now he just led me. And it's the part of the kings of the south and the north. And this is Daniel 11:21 through 32. This is the NLT. The next to come to power will be a despicable man who is not in line for royal succession. He will slip in when least expected and take over the kingdom by flattery and intrigue. Before him, great armies will be swept away, including a covenant prince. With deceitful promises, he will make various alliances. He will become strong, despite having only a handful of followers. Without warning, he will enter the richest areas of the land. Then he will distribute among his followers the plunder and wealth of the rich, something his predecessors have never done. He will plot the overthrow of strongholds, but this will last for only a short while. Then he will stir up his courage and raise a great army against the king of the south. The king of the south will go to battle with a mighty army, but to no avail, for there will be plots against him. His own household will cause his downfall. His great army will be swept away, and many will be killed. Seeking nothing but each other's harm, these kings will plot against each other at the conference table, attempting to deceive each other. But it will make no difference, for the end will come at the appointed time. The king of the north will then return home with great riches. On the way, he will set himself against the people of the Holy Covenant, doing much damage before continuing his journey. Then, at the appointed time, he will once again invade the south, but this time the result will be different, for warships from western coastlands will scare him off, and he will withdraw and return home, but he will vent his anger against the people of the Holy Covenant, and reward those who forsake the covenant. His army will take over the temple fortress, pollute the sanctuary, and put a stop to the daily sacrifices, and set up the sacrilegious object that causes desecration. He will flatter and win over those who have violated the covenant, but the people who know their God will be strong and will resist him. Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. For those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, there you go. All right. I love you guys. God bless you. Bye.